Thank you. Thank you. So for our first speech of the day, we have Toastmaster Manjushri from Athena Club, and she'll be evaluated by Toastmaster Chandrakant. I guess we all know Toastmaster Chandrakant. He's from Juniper Toastmasters Club, and he has a very, very sweet daughter who just came on the video if you attended the meeting on time. And he has been managing daughter Toastmasters office work and whatnot, and has been doing fantastic job. I'd like to congratulate Toastmaster Chandrakant on making his club reach President Distinguished today. A big round of applause for him. Toastmaster Chandrakant, I request you to please read the purpose statement for Toastmaster Majeshri.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Area Director Nikhil, for being so sweet on me. I hope that will be the next year also. Jokes apart. The speaker, Manjusri, is attempting level 2, project 3. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech for the member is to share some aspect of her previous experience as a protege. I wish Manjusri all the best, and then back to you, MC Nikhil.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Chandrakant. Now we come back to our speaker, Toastmaster Manjushri. Well, I like to give a brief introduction for her. Most of you might or might not know. She is the president of Athena Health India Toastmasters Club, and Athena Health India Toastmasters Club started in mid of May. And I guess in the last week of May, we had this conversation with them, how DCP is and what has to be done and what speakers have to do, 7 or 8 speeches and so on and so forth. And I had a word with her, Manjushri, VP8, and a lot of people from their club. And the confidence that they gave pushed me to get the slots for them. So it has been an amazing job. She is attempting her 6th speech, I believe, in almost a month. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Manjushri for achieving that. And over to you, Toastmaster Manjushri. Mentorship, a boon to prodigy. Mentorship, a boon to prodigy. Toastmaster Manjushri. You can start.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikhil, for the wonderful introduction. So I'll start my speech now. Area Director, my evaluator, my fellow Toastmasters, today I'm going to talk to you about my experience as a protege and the impact and importance of having a mentor. So before I get into working on anything, I'm sure that I do my homework. So while I took my tutorials, I did understand that protege is nothing but a mentee. I went on Google and typed protege wiki. To my surprise, Protege is an open source platform related to some technology, and protege, this ambiguation in brackets means a person who has, it just means mentee. I was surprised that such a big term and Wikipedia is not saying anything about it. Well, there were various other articles which talks about protege. Let me not waste my time and do a quick rapid fire. So my first question is, whom do you think when you come across the word mentor? Anyone can volunteer and give me an answer?
Personal mentors at Toastmasters.
Sorry, Gopika, I didn't hear you.
Because we have in Toastmasters.
Okay, we do have mentors in Toastmaster. So I was thinking, when I think this word mentor, it could be a definition or it could be a person, someone older. But when I thought that when I have to write this speech, I actually thought of Nikhil Arora. He has been my mentor for the past 7 weeks, right from the day we started this Athena Health Club. And he has been such an inspiration to me. I am a person coming up with last minute speeches, and he inspires me. Manju, don't worry, with your charming smile, you are just going to get through. I mean, what an inspiration he is. Moving forward, as part of the project, I do have to mention my experience as a protege. So I'm going to bring upon you certain formal mentorship programs that I have been through. Prior to that, let me talk to you when this mentorship thing came into my life. I had the Women Leadership Forum back in my company, and I heard that many people run this mentorship program. So I also wanted to do it. So I wanted to launch this mentorship program, and I didn't know how to do that. So I started researching. I had my seniors guide me through it. But I thought I won't be able to talk to my girl crowd what mentorship is or what they should expect from the mentorship program. So I thought I should be a mentee myself so that I'm able to guide them through. So I asked my manager, I need a mentor. I don't know what to do in my future or how should I shape my career. So I need a mentor. My manager was very happy. There, she quickly assigned me a mentor, and I was just happy about it. Again, I did my homework, what questions I should ask the mentor and everything about mentorship. And there was my call with my mentor. It was a he. But I was excited because I was going to get mentored by a legal person, and I wouldn't get a lot of insights from what happens in legal from US geography. So we did this quick round of introduction. He asked me about myself. He gave me details about him. And then I set my expectations with him that I want to climb the ladder. I want to climb the corporate ladder vertically. And that's my expectations. And that's what I expect you to guide me through. And he said, certainly, next session we'll talk more about it. And I was excited for this next session. The next session did come in, and he just said, Manju, I have to run something with my kids. Can we please reschedule? I was disappointed, but yeah, I mean, kids, I do have kids. I said, yes, let's redo this. Then I rescheduled it. The next session, he came up in the chat, Manju, I have some urgent matter to address right now. Please, can we reschedule this? Oh my God, I was so sad. I was in a state of dubiety. Am I going the right way with this mentorship? There came in the news. My mentor has resigned. I mean, nobody else would have been that happy, but I was happy. I was like, yes, now I will get a new mentor and I will be able to succeed with my expectations. My manager assigned me this new mentor. It was a she. And the best thing about her was she was just like me, like chubby and always smiling. And I really loved her at the first sight. We did introductions about each other. She tried to understand what background I come from, my aspirations, my expectations. And in the first call itself, she had already set expectations what she's going to do in the next round. So next round was about writing or answering the questionnaire for the appraisal session. And she said, this is the perfect time for me to guide you. How do you draft your answers for the appraisal? I was so happy. In my mind, I was full of, I do not have the right word in my mind, but I was happy that I have the right mentor and I can look forward to her for shaping my career. And even today, she is a mentor to me and she is guiding me through it. So here I would like to give you a differentiation between the first mentor that I had and the second mentor. The first mentor had no commitment. I couldn't trust myself in his hands. The second mentor had commitment. I could trust into her and talk to her about anything. That way, I was able to build my relationship with her through a period of 6 months now. And as a prodigy myself, I am looking at my self-development. I am committed to this relationship. I send in the agenda ahead of time so that I am able to set expectations with my mentor. This way, I believe mentorship is a boon to a prodigy. And I'll leave you with a statement saying that a mentor is like a fertile land, and a mentee, a prodigy, could be the seed that we sow into this fertile land and which nourishes into a growing plant. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Manjushri. This extra thank you for giving me some credits also. And rest for your amazing speech, obviously. And I leave it to your evaluator to do the evaluation, and then we'll have a separate feedback session as a mentor-mentee.
Thank you.
So like I was saying, it is not a traditional meeting where we do speeches and then we go for evaluation and everything else. We will be doing a couple of speeches and then we'll be inviting a couple of people to come here, share their experiences, especially if you are club president or you're representing the only person from your club here in this meeting. Please take this time, prepare what you want to say because you will be called upon very soon. I'll also like to acknowledge the presence of my fellow area director, Toastmaster Pratik, Super Shetty. He's also doing one evaluation here with us. Thank you, Toastmaster Pratik, for being here. You are also going to pass the baton, I believe, to your future next area director. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for the
So
opportunity.
before we go, okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Pratik. We will go to this informal section. And before that, let me call upon one more speaker for today. This speaker is Toastmaster Shweta, and she is being evaluated by none other than Toastmaster Nitin. Well, Toastmaster Nitin has been like a rock to me this entire 1 year. Whatever and whenever I have needed, he was there. And he's also going to be there for all of you next entire year. He has to be there. He has a compulsion for that. For last year, it was voluntary. Now he has already put his head on it. So you all know Toastmaster Nitin from Trailblazers Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Nitin, I request you to please read the statement purpose of Toastmaster Shweta's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Shweta is attempting a level 3 project 3 speech. The purpose of the entire project was for the member to work with a group to practice reaching consensus on any topic. The purpose of this particular speech is for the member to discuss her experience leading a non-Toastmasters group towards the consensus. I wish Toastmaster Shweta all the very best. Back to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Nitin. And now let me call upon our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Shweta. She is from Western Digital Podium Panache, and she has represented WD at various area and also represented area at division in the past. She's an amazing speaker and an amazing artist, and she's a senior manager in design team. Very hardworking, very someone whom I am inspired from, how she's able to manage so many activities. With that being said, I invite you, Toastmaster Shweta, to please give your L3P3 speech. Over to you. Just make sure that you are able to see the timer.
Sure. So I'm audible and visible properly, right?
Yes.
Okay. Should I start? Reaching consensus. When I got to know that this is the topic of my L3P3, I was like, is this not the same thing that our mothers try to do every evening when they ask what to cook for dinner? They will ask everyone one by one, what should I make for dinner? What do you want to eat for dinner? But finally, what she makes is what she has already decided. Surprise, surprise. Good evening, dear fellow Toastmasters, guests. Congratulations to the newly elected TM officers, and thank you so much to all the ones who served us in the last tenure. That, what we heard just now, was an example of how not to reach the consensus. And if you are thinking that consensus didn't reach, that's okay. Food reached the table. Let me tell you, consensus not reaching can have consequences. Just before everyone is about to sit on the dinner table, ding dong, the doorbell rings. It can be a Swiggy or a Zomato guy standing out there. What? Mom is putting so much effort making dinner for you and you are ordering dinner from outside? See, these are the things which can happen if the consensus are not reached. Everyone on the same page with me? Please show a thumbs up if you agreed what is the way we should not reach consensus and what can be the consequences of not reaching the consensus. Thank you. So now that we understand how not to reach consensus, to make it clear what bringing consensus is, it is the process of making all the stakeholders agree to one decision. Now, just to be sure that we have no confusion between consensus and compromise, I'll give you another example. I and my friends, we wanted to meet up. We all are Marvel character fans and we decided to hang up over a movie. We went for the Avengers. This is something where we are bringing consensus. Everyone is agreeing to something completely. On the other hand, there is this one guy who really wants to go out with this girl. She agrees for a movie date, but the movie of her choice is Radhe. Seriously? But still he goes because he wants to spend time with her, and so he compromises on his choice of movie. So see, now we are able to understand clearly what is consensus, what is compromise, what is the way we should not bring consensus, and what can be the side effects if consensus are not got together. With all this in place, now let's come back to the case study which we have done. In this case study, we were trying to reach consensus between two teams across geographies which were supposed to work on one project together, which was a very crucial project. As you all will agree with me, that whenever we are working on something in a shared model kind of thing where people from different teams are working, everyone wants to take up the meatier part. Here, to our disadvantage, the project lead was based out of US. However, these skill sets, it was there with our team. We have delivered more on similar model recently also. Hence, we felt this is the right time we must pitch to have the lead from India and also owning the most important portions of this project from here. However, when I tried to ask someone that give your crown jewels to me, do you think anyone will agree? Of course not. And same thing happened here. After a few failed series of emails, which I must tell you is a complete no-no when you are trying to resolve a conflict of this proportion. Always call for a meeting and never try to bring consensus over email in such scenarios. I called for a meeting. And after 30 minutes of beating around the bushes, because we all were trying to be nice to each other, I, being the one who called the meeting, asked everyone to come back to the topic and openly share what they feel about this particular proposal. Of course, they were not ready for it. There were resentments and emotions were running high. After a lot of disagreement, it felt that the meeting is going nowhere. Instead, it was creating more damage. So I decided to call the meeting off and decided to meet again with a fresh approach. This time, after a week when we were meeting, I tried to put the problem statement differently. We have 8 months in hand to deliver this complex project, and I know all of us want success. As we know, we have lost quite a few talent in the team in US, which used to be the center of excellence of this skill. However, on the other hand, recent time, we from India have worked very closely with these people. We have learned and acquired many of their skills, and we have also proven ourselves in delivering things independently. I feel now that we understand the issue, we know our opportunities, and we also know what is the final goal which is there in front of us. I think we should discuss what should be the best way in which two geographies can work together and deliver a successful project. Instantly, there was a feel of positivity and openness on the call. After some discussion, we were able to reach consensus. A working model where we can have two leads, a co-lead kind of model. And there we'll also have to have very straightforward set boundaries for our tasks so that the sense of ownership also stays intact. So with this case study, we learned few pointers on how to reach consensus. First, when you are trying to reach consensus, try to hear out everyone. There must be no personal attacks in the meeting. When the discussion becomes contentious, pause, call for another meeting if needed. Break the problem into smaller pieces and try to find a workable solution which most of the people can agree upon. Because if everyone agrees on something wholeheartedly, only then they will be able to work on that particular thing with their 100%. So now, next time when at evening your mother asks you what to make for dinner, openly tell what you want to eat. And if that is something she cannot prepare, it's okay. Order it from outside, but order it for her also, so that you both can sit together, enjoy that lovely meal, and there'll be no food wastage too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Now, the biggest takeaway for me is how to decide what to have for dinner. And that is what I'm going to implement right away today. I'll send you the pictures after this meeting. Thanks a lot to Master Shweta for finishing your level 3. And with the same, we have reached a milestone for one of our club. Toastmaster Shweta's finish of level 3 has made sure that West Digital Podium Panache is now a select distinguished club. A big round of applause for it and for the club. I see we have club secretary over here with us. Obviously, club president myself is also here, but I'm already speaking a lot. So I'll request club secretary Toastmaster Muskan to share her views.
It's really great that we have reached this milestone, especially with a speech by Sweta. So when I joined the club, Sweta and Agnev were the people that I look up to for their speeches and the kind of progresses they have made, the kind of impact they make in each and every meeting. And being a part of this club, again, I am a part of this club. I own something of it, and it has reached a step forward towards the ladder, many more to come. So it feels great, and I congratulate all the team for the success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Muskan. I'm also happy to share she'll be continuing her role. So she's passing the baton to her own self as a secretary. A big round of applause for her. Well, passing the baton comes from a very known anecdote or example or something that we have seen. There is a relay race, right, where we pass the baton from one place to another. But at the end, in a relay race, there is an end. But in this race that we are, there is no one is going to finish it. It's just everyone passes a baton at the end of a year to the next one. And a good handoff means that you are not slowing down anyone. You pick up from where you have reached. We reached a certain milestones, and from there onwards, we take it forward. And that's what we want to achieve here with our area G4. We have reached a certain standards of quality, certain standards of membership, and we hope to maintain the same with this passing on the baton to our next area director, Toastmaster Nitin. But we'll come back to that. We have one more president, actually too many presidents here with us. First, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Chitra. She is the president of SoundBytes Toastmasters Club, which is already distinguished. A big round of applause. Toastmaster Chitra, are you there with us? I am not sure if she's there. Toastmaster Chitra, you are on mute if you are trying to say something. Well, not a problem. We'll come back to her. For now, let's move on to our next speaker for today, Toastmaster Sumukh. Toastmaster Sumukh is from Toastmaster Amrita Bangalore Club, and he'll be evaluated by Toastmaster Prateek, our current area director for area F2. He's also known as Super Shetty, the local techie. Toastmaster Prateek, I request you to please read the purpose of statement for Toastmaster Sumukh.
Thank you, Nikhil. Namaste, everyone. Our target speaker today is giving the project Connect with Storytelling. The purpose statement of the project: I will read it out. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using a story within a speech or giving a speech that is a story. All the best to the target speaker. Timer, please start. Time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratik. Thanks a lot. Now let me invite in Toastmaster Sumuk from Toastmasters from the Bangalore Club. He's finishing his level 3 with the last speech. Toastmaster Sumuk, how are babies made? How are babies made? Toastmaster Sumuk.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Ma, how are babies made? This is a question a 6 or 7-year-old me had asked when I was that young. Now, by a show of hands, can I know if anyone of you had also asked the same question when you were younger? Okay, I can see quite a few hands. That's great. So I had asked this question to my mother, and she had replied saying that after marriage, you get a potion, and if you drink that potion, a baby starts growing in your tummy. And yes, just like any other kid of that age, I believed that too. And at those times, I used to believe everything everyone used to say to me. And that attitude had me experience 2 incidents, which I'm not so proud of if I think about it now. So I would just like to share those experiences with you. So here goes the first one. I was 6 or 7 years old, as I mentioned, and there was a work event. It was a program which my dad's company was having, and it was in an evening. So I was able to attend that, and everything was going well. I was really curious about all the things that were happening around me because I was very new to crowds and loud noises. So the meeting went very well. And then it was time for vote of thanks. And then when I started to listen to the person who was giving the vote of thanks, I realized that it was my father who was giving it. So I was intrigued. I wanted to look at him. So I started going towards the stage. But then I heard that voice come from somewhere else. I did not have a visual on my father because I was like 2 or 3 feet and there were so many chairs and people were standing. So as I started going, I started listening his voice from some other place. And of course, that other place was supposed to be a speaker. And at that time, it was just a big black box to me. So I was curious and I went to there. And then you realize that this kind of curiosity which you showed to your parents made them realize that you all are born geniuses, which took its toll differently later in life, but that's okay. So I went near that place and I was listening to my father's voice coming from that big black box. And I didn't know, I was not able to see him. So I asked the person standing next to it that what it is. And I don't know how, but that person knew that my dad is the one who's speaking and he decided to play along. And he told me that your father is inside the speaker and he's speaking. I didn't know, and I believed him as well. So I didn't get a good look of my father, right? Because speakers have these holes and, gaps for the air to come out. So I thought maybe he's in the back side. So I went to the back of the speaker, and you all will know speakers are connected to some mixers. So many wires come and go to the speaker. And I tripped on those wires and the mixer fell down, disconnecting the speaker. And then I closed my eyes. I was afraid. And when I opened, I had made a huge mess. Many people were staring at me. And the person who had told me about my father, he was looking at me with the expression, "What did you even do?" I got freaked out and I ran away. Eventually, after many years, I learned that what are speakers, what are mics, and the concept behind them. But then the learning process for that started here. Lesson number 1, there is no person dead or alive inside the speaker. That was the first lesson. And after that, I became a bit more cautious. I did not start listening to anyone and anything anyone said to me. And I, trusted people who are close to me. And then there are siblings. And siblings, they'll do anything to make your life miserable. Pun intended. They'll do anything. And then there was my sister. And this led to the second incident. Growing up, I used to visit Bangalore a couple of times every year to come to my grandma's house. And those 2 weeks were just amazing. It was just filled of playing video games on my brother's computer, good food, and then sightseeing. And on one such visit, I read somewhere that there's a new mall which has opened in Bangalore. I think it was Garuda Mall, and we persuaded our parents to take there. So me and my sister and my father and mother, we went over there. We had our fun. That was the first time I ate in food court. And then we came down after completing all the shopping. We came down and my family were putting the stuff back into the boot of our car. That time I observed that there was a Hyundai Santro, which was standing opposite to our car facing us. And as I observed keenly, I saw that the registration plate or the nameplate of that Santro, it had a small crack and it was a bit slanted. I don't know why I did it, but I went closer to fix it. And maybe I may have pulled it a bit hard and the half plate came into my hand. The other was a half was attached to the car. And I freaked out. I was into BT. I didn't know what the driver of that car or the owner of that car was going to do to me. So I just dropped that plate, came back to my family. No one had seen it except my sister. She saw that and she told me, "You see, that person will come searching for you and then beat you up." And I gulped saliva and I sat in the car. But I was okay because anyway we were leaving and nothing will happen. But then I saw a Santro car near me and I ducked. And then I saw again another Santro and I crouched in between the first and the second seat. And that was the whole journey. I was really anxious about all the Santros because back in those days, Maruti Suzuki Wagoner and Hyundai Santros were omnipresent in all the roads in India. I guess many of you might know that. So I was very anxious, and even till now, that is the only thing which I'm reminded of whenever I see a Santro. There are many such incidents which happened when I was very young, and I'm sure that such incidents might have also happened to you as well. And now, if you think about it, nothing will be there on your mail except you just push it off as a silly thing and you laugh about it. But then sometimes some other incidents might be there where you just feel like crawling into a cave and never coming back up. But then either way, you will be smiling. So in these hardened times, all I request you guys is to just take some time off, think about those small things, and go in search of that little young naive you who had done all those things, who had been through all those stuff, and that will end up putting a smile on your face. And also, just compare the answer your mom or your dad gave you when you had asked them how a baby is made, and compare it with reality, and then learn to appreciate the creativity or the creative answers they gave you when you had asked them such awkward questions when you were young. So that's it from me. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you, Sumuk. Thanks a lot, and what a great speech, I'll say. And definitely, we all got reminded of such instance of our own life. But like you, I'm not giving a speech, so I'll not share my embarrassing such instance. But congratulations on finishing level 3. Great job. Okay. Now, before we go ahead and we call upon our last speaker for the day, which will make our club and area achieve certain achievements and accolades, I'll request, whom should we ask? Toastmaster Chandrakant. Toastmaster Chandrakant, will you like to share your experiences over the last entire year and the new roles that you are looking forward to?
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. I think last year, same time, I was president for a year, and then I was handing over the president baton, and then I was picking up the VP education role. This year, I am giving up the baton to the next VP education. I'm picking up a VP PR role. Now, we know someday you'll have to hand over this to someone else, but you actually cared for them, or you craft, I don't know if the word crafted is correct, but you carefully sculptured, and then you are taking care of this position as a baby. And then I always feel I'll have 100 questions when I'm handing over to someone. Will he be able to take care of it properly? Or do you think he'll be able to do a great job? But then I'll get to remember, boss, you were not doing this from the day one. There was someone before you, and Nikhil said there will be someone after you, and there will be someone after that. It's all a support system that we have set for ourselves. I feel like, if you have kids, I know there are some younger people here, but if you have kids and if you have left them to the school on the day one, they cry before getting onto the bus, and then you cry after they get onto the bus. I think this is what I feel right now. Every time I hand over and then move this, it's very emotional moments for all of us. And especially with the Nikhil and division director Ayushi, right? I spoke, if I have to weigh the amount of communication I had with them for first 10 months and next 2 months, the next 2 months will be more heavier. We were 14 people in the first week of May. And forget about awards, we were not looking anywhere else. We were in fact hiding in the cave the way Sumuk just mentioned, right? We are finding a cave to go back, hide, and never come back out. And then just a pat on our shoulders by them, and then they asked us to create an open house. And today we are 23, and just sometime back, even we have achieved 10 DCP points, which was not even in our dreams
something like that. It's all happened because one thing, AD and DVD, they felt that we could do it. All they have to do is give an attempt. I'm honestly telling you here, we did it half-heartedly. We just did it because I don't wanted a bad face with Nikhil and Ayushi. We said, okay, for you, we are doing an open house. And then that worked out very well. It's all about the timing. So that's what the leader is all supposed to do. Find out that moment where the member is feeling low. Just hold the hand, take one step. And Nikhil, I have to say wholeheartedly, you've done your job perfectly. And Juniper is the reason for it. And we wish you take more leadership roles in future and climb up the ladder. Back to you.
Congratulations, Chandrika, once again, and a big thank you again. Uh, I think we have said it. It's not us. It was our duty and responsibility. It was all you. You showed the intent, and you had that skill to take it forward. And we just nudged it a little bit. That's what best we could do. And on passing on the baton, you beautifully said that whenever we are going to pass, we do have a small amount of fear. However, I disagree with you, at least at this moment. I am very, like 110% confident that the baton to whom I am passing, he'll do a fantastic job. Uh, this is entire, it's like a whole team, and everyone takes a turn and chip it. You pass on the baton, they come, they'll do their mistakes. We did our mistakes and we learn from them and we grow. But you have to give that opportunity to everyone and take it forward. Thanks again, Toastmaster Chandrika. And now, before we go to our next speaker, I'll also like to call upon the president of Lexicon Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Neha, who is the timer here with us. Toastmaster Neha, will you like to share your experience for the last 1 year and your future roles?
Thank you so much. So from past 6 months, I was playing as a role of president, and this term also I'm continuing as a president. So I can say prior to that, I read many times like Toastmasters made leaders. So that thing was not clear to me, and this one was clear to me only when I become a president by myself. So I can say this is a platform where nobody judges anyone and we get a lot of support. So I am very thankful to get all the support from our AD and our division director Ayushi. And so basically in this crisis time, we were able to survive and have a good quality of meeting. And in the end, Nikhil said to our first speaker, Manju, this regarding the smile. So I can say to everyone, like, smile is our logo. So we should always keep it and make our logo beautiful. And our personality is like our business card. So we should have that kind of personality which will impact others and people start enjoying it. With this, yeah, back to Nikhil. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Neha. So beautifully said. We always have to keep our smile, I believe. And that's how we have weathered this difficult situations. And still, we are standing strong and we have learned so much from it. Let me check. Toastmaster Chitra, are you back? Are you there on the call?
Hey, hi Toastmaster Nikhil. Hi everyone.
Hi Toastmaster Chitra. So Toastmaster Chitra is the president of SoundBytes Toastmasters Club, and she has led the club so beautifully. It is already distinguished. It is one of the first club that became distinguished in our area with the membership criteria met. So Toastmaster Chitra, will you like to share your experiences, difficulties, and what you learned in the entire year, and what roles you are looking forward to in the upcoming term?
Sorry. Yeah. So I think during this year, especially in terms of our club, right? So after April, I think we were not able to really conduct the meeting, mostly because most people in our company themselves were impacted by COVID, including myself and family members and all. So yeah, so now we are looking at revamping the club and restarting our meeting. So soon we will send out meeting invitations. Sorry for that. Thing stuck in my throat. But however, yeah, I do encourage people in my club to go out and join other meetings. But due to various things, I think the club itself has been laying a little low, but we hope to pick it up soon and join other meetings and invite you guys to our meetings as well. So yeah, we look forward to that. Thanks so much, Nick.
Thank you, Toastmasters. I'm pretty sure you guys will pick up really soon. And it's okay to lay low when the time is difficult and then come back stronger. Thanks again for leading your club and making sure that the club is still surviving and thriving in such difficult conditions.
Sure.
Well, I guess it's the time to call upon our last speaker. But before we do that, last speaker's evaluator, Toastmaster Harsha. He is the president of TAB Club, which is in Area G3, a fellow club. And I think for Western Digital Podium Panache, at least personally, I believe TAB has become like a sister club. At least few of the members we have inducted in our club itself. Toastmaster Gopika is there. She has attended so many meetings and so many speakers. We can't imagine a meeting without her now. So Toastmaster Harsha, will you like to share your experience for like last 1 year and what roles you are looking forward to in the next upcoming term?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil. Well, I took up this role before 6 months. I was very clueless when I took it up because I was the SA before that, and taking up the role of president directly was something I wasn't looking forward for, but it somehow happened, and I happened to be the president of our club. But ever since I took up the role, it has been an experience which taught me a lot, which showed me people who will help me all the time and who will help me no matter what. If I get any problem, I can text my area director, Toastmaster Srinidhi, or anyone from our club or anyone from the division, and if I need any help. So I got that confidence that people will always be there. That's what I learned in the last 6 months. So that's my experience about the last 6 months. Thank you.
That is so beautifully said. A big round of applause to Toastmaster Harsha. Well, that is the power of our community, Toastmasters community, that we are always there for one or the other person will be here to help you, to support you. Now, let me call upon the last speaker for today, Toastmaster Sonia, who is being evaluated by Toastmaster Harsha. I request Toastmaster Harsha to read the purpose of speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Good evening, each and everyone, and a special good evening to Toastmaster Sonia. Toastmaster Sonia is attempting her milestone speech today, L2P3, the last speech of level 2, and it is about Toastmasters mentoring. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. As we all know, protege is a mentee. All the very best, Toastmaster Sonia. Over to Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harsha. Now I call upon the next speaker, Toastmaster Sonia. She has been instrumental in making the club at Ethna Health India. She is the reason, actually, she is the person, the single point of contact I had, and she worked through entire process, filling the forms, getting everyone ready. And today we not only just have a club, we have a distinguished club in making. And she has taken up the lead for making the club and running it now as well by giving her level 2 last speech to make the club distinguished. I call upon Toastmaster Sonia. You should sit at the table. My journey from mentee to mentor. You should sit at the table. My journey from mentee to mentor. Toastmaster Sonia, over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Glad to be here today with you all. Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil, for a wonderful intro. Don't expect that you should get into the corner office by sitting on the sidelines. You should sit at the table. This is a quote from Sheryl Sandberg from her book, Lean In. Not all the time we will have privilege to be recognized and get the right opportunity you deserve. There are multiple challenges which I have faced in my career journey where I was not able to deserve what I was not able to getting what I deserve. Initially, I started ignoring, but slowly it started. I was feeling guilty of not being valued. Any of you also had a similar experience? Let me share an experience from my journey. This was some time back. After my daughter was born, I joined after my maternity break. The organization where I explored, grown, and learned over the 6 years announced that they are shutting down the business operations in Bangalore, India. You can imagine the situation. Attending the interviews after 6 years, preparing for interview with toddlers around, multiple challenges. Fortunately, I cleared technical rounds from one of the best companies in industry at that time. I owe that to my better half for motivating and encouraging me to get through that. However, during the HR round, I opted for a lower position. I was fearful whether I will able to make up to do my best. But I was confident that I will able to, this is only for a shorter time, I will able to prove myself and qualify for the next level sooner. I realized I was sidelined. It was a new environment, new management with the label mom of two little ones. So I started ignoring it. There are multiple conflicts in my mind. I was not knowing what to do. It went on for a few weeks, years. It took a couple of years for me to understand my situation. Again, my better half came as a saver. He gifted me a book, Leading. The quote, don't expect you will get into the corner office by sitting on the sidelines. You should sit at the table. This is a powerful quote which inspired me, influenced me, changed the way I look myself. I understood my illness, but not sure of the medicine. I started attending various support groups, networking events, got connected to Shinomics. Through Shinomics, Manisha came into my life as a mentor. Most of us shy away for asking help, but mentoring is a beautiful thing all of you must try. Manisha equipped me to identify my medicine, enabled me to accept myself the way I am. The relationship with her helped me to have more confidence, have clarity for me, and believe in myself. Toastmaster Forum is one of the forum which helped me to look the way, adding the value the way I look myself, and helping me to build the skills which I lack and groom me to be a leader which I want to be. Similarly, I have multiple other mentors from my family, from friends, and the professional network who supported me to grow. Now, after practicing self-belief, assertiveness, being authentic, and owning my own success, I was more pleased with my abilities. I'm happy with what the skills I have. I have more clarity and contentment. I'm proud and happy to say I have few others who accepted me as their mentor to create an impact in their life. I'm able to make this change by sharing my experience, my learnings, my mistake from my journey. I own compassionate circles in which we help each other to motivate, inspiring, and encourage to face challenges. I also lead Women in Tech and Women in Leadership chapters in my organization apart from my professional responsibilities. The beauty of being a mentor is I'm also learning and growing with my mentees. Here I am now today, being part of Toastmasters to learn from here and to contribute to others to be an efficient leader and channel the right energies. I just want to leave you with a thought. If you get a seat on a rocket ship, don't hesitate. Don't ask what seat, just get on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sonia, for a great speech. We have to sit at the table to lead and to take it forward. Well, with that, we have come to an end of our prepared speech section and we will move to evaluation section. And as soon as the evaluations go by, so far from our speaker's side, the job is done. For all the clubs and for the area, we have reached the milestones that we want to once the evaluators say that their speech is good to go. Very important part. Often people forget the speech is not alone itself alone is not sufficient enough. With that, I'd like to call upon our first evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Chandrakant. Toastmaster Chandrakant, I think Toastmaster Manjushri had to leave. So I think the meeting is recording, so you can give the evaluation and we will share the recording with her.
Sure. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nikhil. First and foremost, the smile. If you look at the speaker, Manjushri, she had smiled throughout the speech. I'll tell you, it's 50% of the work done. When your body speaks, before even you utter a word, you have captured half of your audience. Second, the attitude. Now, the word attitude has been wrongly defined. Whenever we say attitude, we term it as negative. But the confidence she had, the body language that she possessed, and then she expressed in the call, and then the way she had the hand gestures coming up, all these things, even before we speak about the content, the delivery captured every audience who is here in this particular meeting. The best way for you to attract the audience is to engage them. An attempt was done in the very early part of the speech by having some questions sprinkled in this particular speech, and then let audience answer that. Especially before, there is a reason why I'm first speaking about the delivery rather than the content. In her body language, when she was speaking about the mentor, she said, okay, first mentor and the second mentor, how I'm comparing. Her body was speaking. She was telling not only with her mouth, she was telling with her body. That's very, very important. And thanks to this virtual forum, we forgot that. We are used to sit in our chairs, clasp it, and then start delivering our speeches. It's very much important. Being in virtual forum, we should still try to address that full body presentation, which is very much needed when we come out of this pandemic. Now, moving about the content, the first intention of this particular speech is to explain how Toastmaster envisions the mentoring and what was her experience as a protege. While she just touch and go on the Toastmaster mentoring, because it was for a small period of time, if I connect the dots, she did a great job in explaining how mentorship has impacted her. If I have to go on to the not so good side of the speech, it was more of her expectations of the mentor rather than the results that were derived. It was her expectations of the mentor which were not met in the first time. But she should also understand that it was she learned how not to be a mentor. That's the biggest learning that she had from the first mentor. When she is aware of this fact, I think if this was presented, it would be like an icing on the cake. Second point, she was very meticulous in explaining the difference between both the mentors. I really like that particular part. Third point on the cons, let's not repeat what is my objective. Hi friends, I'm going to explain today. These are all redundant. I think the evaluator has already done that job. Let's not repeat the objective in our particular speeches. With the quantum of difference that she has shown between mentor 1 and mentor 2, she has told us how a mentor should be and how a confident and supportive mentor can arise the growth in the mentee. If she has taken the Toastmaster mentoring a little more, it would have been obvious, but if not, it's a great speech, great attempt, and I congratulate Manjushri for completing her level 2. Back to your Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chandrakant, for an amazing evaluation. I'm sure she'll be benefited from this in her next speeches. Next upon, our soon-to-be area director, Toastmaster Nitin. Please present your evaluation for Toastmaster Shweta.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Toastmaster Shweta, amazing start. Absolutely great start. You know, as humans, we are very close-minded. You tell me to do A, I'll do only A. I will not do anything else. But on that way, you were a rebel in some ways because your objective required you to talk about how to reach consensus, and you started with how to not reach a consensus. And I felt that was good because that covers both sides of the coin. It doesn't just, you didn't just talk about the objective, but you covered a little bit more in the same duration of the speech. So I think that was brilliantly done. You had relatable examples, and that is amazing as well. It helps the audience register your content more easily. So that was great. The best part of the speech I felt was you spoke about the key learnings. Again, and that's something that you did, which was not asked for in the speech. You could have just spoken about the experience and leave it there, but you went a step ahead and you spoke about the key learnings as well. And I think that helps us because key learnings are like generic advice, which we can give, which we can apply in our personalized experiences. So I think that is something that really helps. A couple of things that you can improve is I felt you could have cut down on a story a little bit and focus a bit more on the key learning. I felt the key learning was overshadowed by the experience. And I feel both of them are equally important. So if you had 50-50% of both, I think that would have been a good balance. The second improvement is you can be a little more mindful of the comparisons that you make, just so that you don't lose out your audience. Now, any day, anytime, I will obviously choose Avengers over Radhe. But it is a fact that Radhe has earned money, which means people see it. And you don't want to take the chance of losing out on that audience. So if you can choose examples or comparisons which will make sure that the audience doesn't dislike you, I think that will be a safer approach to take. An example that I can come up with is probably the comparison between flat earth society and round earth society. Because facts say that earth is round. So there is absolutely no judgment or there's absolutely no comeback that the other person can give. So safe examples I feel will be easier for you just so that you don't lose any audience. However, having said that, I think like I've constantly mentioned, you went a step ahead as a speaker, and that is an absolutely great quality to have in any kind of speech. I wish you all the very best. Congratulations for completing level 3. Level 4 and level 5 are in front of you, and I'm sure you'll nail those as well. Thank you so much, and back to you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitin, and a big round of applause for Toastmaster Shweta for finishing her level 3 and making sure that the club reaches select distinction. I'll circle back to you, Toastmaster Nitin. Please stay here. I mean, you know. Next up, we have our evaluator, Toastmaster Prateek, evaluating Toastmaster Sumo. Toastmaster Prateek, please present your evaluation.
Thank you, Nikhil. Toastmaster Sumo, you gave a really good speech. Now, why would I say that, right? Here are the things where I felt you did really well. Starting with now in an linkers meet kind of a scenario where there are multiple people giving speeches and not just giving speeches, there are other people also talking, right? After a point, it might start becoming draining on all of us. Whereas you did a good thing of coming up with a humorous speech, right? And I could see all of us having a smile on our face from your like some of the lines that I noted on, where I laughed a lot, were things like there is no person dead or alive in the speaker. or the instance where nobody saw but your sister saw, and then the whole journey you had to just sit in the car with what would your sister do, right? So you really excelled at making us at least smile all through the speech. They may not have been a really big laugh out moment, but every single instance that you said, I could constantly see smile on everybody's face. The second thing that I would like to commend you on is that the way you talk is like you're talking with friends, right? It's not like you're giving a speech. It felt like we are your friends. You're narrating a story and we are listening to them. The third thing that I liked was that you started with a good audience interaction with that first question and that really curious title, right? At a point, I was worried that whether you will break the line of which is sex, religion, and politics, but then you did it in a really humorous way. So kudos to you on that. Now, there are a few things which you can do to become even better, starting with, I would say, your voice modulation, right? Now, there are instances in your speech where you could have given a small pause, right? Especially after each story. After each story, give a long, poignant pause, which is like 1 second or a 2 second pause, so that we clearly know here the story one ends and here the story two starts, right? That's one. Second thing is, even when you start the story two, you say that this is story two. You have to stress, you could have stressed on the word story two, so that we clearly know that this is story two, right? Right, so that's about that. Another thing for you to keep in mind is, not just you, for everybody when you're delivering on the virtual stage, is to always sit a little bit back so that your hand gestures are clearly visible, right? I know currently I'm not sitting properly, but I'm not delivering a speech. So for speakers who are giving a speech, do sit a little bit back so that your hand gestures are clearly visible and nothing is getting cropped, right? Finally, something for you to challenge yourself, probably you are already aware, is that the pace at which you speak is a little bit fast, right? So you can practice speaking a little bit slow so that so that we can all enjoy your speech even more. Thank you so much for making all of us laugh. Over to you, Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratik. Thanks a lot for the great evaluation. And congratulations to you, Toastmaster Sumuk, on achieving your L3 and I believe a triple crown as well. Now, I invite upon the Toastmaster Harsha to present the evaluation for Toastmaster Sonia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil. A very good evening to each and everyone, and a special good evening to Toastmaster Sonia. Well, Toastmaster Sonia, the one thing I really liked about your speech was the introduction, starting off with a quote. It's like going back to our roots. When we first write our icebreaker, the first step we get from our mentors is start your speech with a question or a quote. It will engage the audience for sure. You did that part in a very right manner, in a proper way, and that grabbed everyone's attention. A great job done, Toastmaster Sonia, on that first point, grabbing everyone's attention. That's the main trait of a speaker. And the second one is the way you explain about your struggles. Now, everyone in life doesn't have those struggles for after 6 years going and sitting through an interview and studying all things once again and wrapping up everything. And the way you explained all those stories or all those scenarios is something I want to appreciate you on. That was something very different and distinct I saw in a Toastmasters mentoring speech. It's just not about guiding someone, it's about learning from someone as well. You really explained that part very well, Toastmaster Sonia. And now coming to the third point, talking about mentors, it was very subtle. It's not very elaborate, or it's not all about mentors. You explained the scenarios and you told how they helped you in that particular points, and you mentioned who helped you in those particular scenarios. A great job done on that as well, Toastmaster Sonia. Well, now if I come to a few improvements that I would like to suggest you, one would be pauses, and the second one would be voice modulation. Now, these two might come under the category of delivery. Well, coming to pauses, these are something which might be intentional or unintentional. Some pauses in your speech were unintentional, is what I feel. At points, I felt you could have prepared a little bit more on some part of your speech, so that you can deliver it in an effective way. And the second thing is voice modulation. Well, when we talk about your struggles, you could have told it in a little sadder way so that everyone will connect to you more. Now, how do we work on these? Just giving improvements is not going to get us anywhere. Now, how do we work on this? One thing I tried out is that according to like when we try to bring in voice modulation into our speeches, take a voice recorder, take one line, try it out in different tones. If I say my name is Harsha, I'll say my name is Harsha in a happy tone. My name is Harsha. My name is Harsha. Well, this is a different kind of things you can try and you can hear to them. And if you feel that you're on the same tone, try delivering them once again. Then you will be able to get that voice modulation at some or the other point of time while you keep practicing it. Now, one thing I would like to give you as a challenge is voice modulation. And I think you'll nail that in the next speech, Toastmaster Sonia. And all the very best for your future speeches. And congratulations on completing your milestone speech L2P3. Over to Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harsha. And to the point, an amazing evaluation. I really liked it. And congratulations, of course, Toastmaster Sonia and entire Ethna Health India family on achieving the distinguished club status. A big round of applause for everyone, guys. So I see the club president, Toastmaster Manjushri, has joined back. Toastmaster Manjushri, will you like to share your views? First of all, congratulations. And second, anything you want to say? Toastmaster Manjushri, you're there? Okay, I think she's not connected to audio. It's okay. We'll ask Toastmaster Sonia. She's kind of a pseudo president since she made so much of work to start the club. Toastmaster Sonia, please share your experience of starting the club and then reaching in the distinguished status in less than 1.5 months.
Yeah, I'm so happy and excited to achieving this status for our club. So to back a little bit history, like this was something which came up. I felt that it's in a city, like I have to overcome few challenges which I am facing. Then I discussed in the group, so I got a lot of more people showing the interest. So we started working towards it. But it took some time with all this pandemic adding how the virtual club was. And finally, last step, when I started interacting with Nikhil, seeing the offers and benefits which we get, we thought, okay, we should speed up. And same way, I pushed the organization to get the approvals and get it done. So we started, and our club, we got started with 20 members. And I'm so thankful and to Nikhil for the motivation and encouragement you give each one of us, even this achieving this, completing the level 2, right? I was little doubtful whether we will able to do, but seeing the motivation, I'm also thought, okay, I should also try that. And we all work together and achieve it. It's a group work. But main motivation is from you, Nikhil, and others also, all the evaluators, all these people who accommodated our sessions in the clubs, all of them supported. So thank you, all of you, each one of you for that. And hope that we will continue this pace and this momentum throughout the year. Thank you.
Toastmaster Sonia. Absolutely, I'm sure you guys will do a fabulous job with the next term as well. With that, I am a proud area director to announce that we, as an area, have become now eligible as a President Distinguished Area. Thank you all for your immense support. Without you all taking care of achieving your goals, it would not have been possible. We have done it on 29th June, which is like just the one day before, but still a great job done, I guess. And kudos to all of you. Would not have been possible. Not even a chance. So I guess we are reaching the end of this meeting. I'll quickly call upon my tag team, not the general evaluators. let's call our first timer, Toastmaster Neha, to present your report.
Yeah, sure. So I have a question with all the speaker. Are you in the state of dubiety whether you are within a time limits or not? I think all knows that they all are in time limits. So congratulations to all the speakers. They are on the time limits. So Manju took 7 minutes. Shweta took 7 minutes 17 seconds. Sumuk took 6 minutes 18 seconds, and Sonia took 6 minutes 20 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster Neha. Thanks a lot for the quick and crisp report. Now I'll call upon our counter. I see our counter has dropped.
I have the counter report. I can share that.
Okay, thank you. Please.
Thanks, Nikhil. As an counter, the report goes like this. SA Gopika has 2 times so repeating. MC Nikhil had 4 hours and 3 so's. Toastmaster Chandrakant myself had 2 hours. Toastmaster Manjushri has 3 hours, 3 so's and 5 likes. Toastmaster Nitin has 2 hours. Sweta 2 hours and 4 likes. Sumuk 2 hours and 9 likes. Pratik 3 hours, 4 so's, 3 likes, and 2 times repeated word right. Toastmaster Harsha did not have any repetitive word or clutch word or filler. Toastmaster Sonia had 3 hours, 2 so's, and 3 likes. That's the report from our end. Thanks to Divya who joined in the last minute.
Thank you. Thanks a lot to Toastmaster Chandrakant, and please express our thanks to Toastmaster Divya also for taking care of the counter report. I call upon our Sergeant at Arms and grammarian Toastmaster Gopika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Okay, there are too many Nitins and Nikhils in the group, and I'm attending too many meetings at this point of time. I should stop. Okay. So the word of the day was used by Toastmaster Manjushri, Toastmaster Sumuk, and Toastmaster Neha at the last moment. So I want to congratulate all 3 of them for using the word of the day, which is dubiety. Now we have some really good usage of words. We had protege, which is another word for mentee. We had disambiguation, boon, consciousness, geographies, a lot of other words. Straightforward, set boundaries, hiding in the cave, which is used by Toastmaster Chandrakant, icing on the cake, very close-minded by Toastmaster Nitin is something I did not know we could use, so it's new knowledge to me. I always thought of open-minded, so I did not know close-minded we did use. So for me, it's new knowledge. We had some good usage of quotes also. Mentor is like a fertile land. Mentees are like seeds. There was a quote given by Manjushri. Don't expect to get into the corner of the room by Toastmaster Sonia. If there were no dead or alive speakers by Toastmaster Sumuk, and going back to our roots is a good usage by Toastmaster Harsha. We have some not so good usage also in between. There was a pronunciation mistake. I don't know if it's just me. I heard as expectations instead of expectations. I and my friends, I feel the usage is my friends and I. Eventually after many years, it's eventually after a few years. Motivate, inspiring, encourage. It's motivate, inspire, and encourage. Channel the right energies. The usage in that sentence should have been channel the right energy in a very right manner. I feel in a right manner specifies the purpose of that statement. Very is not necessary, it's abundant. Unintentional is what I feel. And I think it can be rephrased as I feel we're unintentional in that. And that's it from my side as the grammarian. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gopika. Thanks a lot for taking up the grammarian role and doing a fantastic job. And we have been finally joined by our DTM Ayushi Jain, our outgoing division director. A big round of applause for her. Toastmaster Ayushi, can you come on the camera, please? Toastmaster Ayushi.
Yes, 1 minute. I'll just open the camera.
Thank you for joining, and I'm very happy to share with you. In this meeting, we have achieved Athena Health has become Distinguished Club, Wilson Digital has become Select Distinguished, and Area has become President Distinguished.
Such a less silent applause. We need to at least shout. Big.
Yeah, I did, but on mute. Respecting the Toastmasters rules.
Oh no, there's no rule as such that we can't be happy and we can't enjoy.
Okay, Toastmaster Ayushi, we will like to request you to please share your views on your last year experience and your future roles as you pass on the baton to the next team, and any other thing that you want to address to our area G4.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Firstly, a big congratulations to Athena Healthcare for becoming distinguished in such a less time. It's not a simple thing, trust me, it's not at all. I remember when I started with my club, I took a full 1 year to get it distinguished, president distinguished we became, but it was a very difficult journey all throughout, and you have done it in such a small time, and it matters. It matters because every one of you have come ahead and given so many number of speeches. That's what is going to like help all of us. So thank you so much for doing that, and thank you Nikhil for arranging slots. I remember from past few weeks we only conversations we had, where is the slot available, how can how can we help them now? Like even people just straight away come to me with, this is a slot, please fill it, and I know whom to approach. I give it to Nikhil. So a lot of fun happened in helping out Athena and other and G4 entirely. So all for worth, we have become president distinguished. Wow, 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 congratulations. Yes. And I just have this one small message to everyone, that whatever you do, now the baton is being passed, but it's just, we are all friends here. It does not matter, we'll be connected whether or not we are not there. Anytime if you see Nikhil, you need any help, approach him. But yes, your area director is also there in this meeting, so don't jump the guns, don't jump the hierarchy. But yes, he will be there, and if he's not there, go and complain to your area director. So we will be there for you. It's just the position that's changing, it's not the friendship that is going to change. And please share the same love and care and a lot of support to the incoming team, because I can't tell you how much happy I had been this entire year. This pandemic was very difficult, and I think the only thing that kept me going and kept me sane is Toastmasters. I was on a meeting calls from 11 o'clock in the morning. I think I've developed full dark circles and all also, but yeah, but yes, this meeting is making me so happy. Like just see my face after such a long work call. My head is paining completely, but I'm feeling so happy just seeing your faces. So this is what the power of Toastmasters is. There are a lot of things happening. Just enjoy. Just come here, talk, ramble. I know I'm just talking out my mind, I'm talking out my heart, but still I'm getting thumbs up, I'm getting heart symbol, I'm getting people who are laughing at my bad jokes. So thank you so much. Thank you for all the love, and please keep in touch. Please keep doing what you do, that is enjoy and learn. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, DK Ayushi. Thank you for your message. Now the time has come for me to end this meeting. Well, actually, technically, I'll not end this meeting. I'll pass on the baton to the incoming area director, and I'll request him to take the presiding officer's duties from me from this meeting onwards. I mean, technically till tomorrow I have it, but still, symbolically, I think we can do that. I call upon Toastmaster Nitin. Please come on the video. I think one normally there is a difference between when you transfer to area director or something like that. But I am not feeling that at all. I think Nitin is also not feeling that, because in the last 1 year, so many times people have called me Nitin and him Nitin. It has happened so many. So it's already like a very smooth transition. Now moving forward, also if you call me area director or you call me Nitin, I won't mind. Okay, and I'm sure Nitin will also. Thank you again. Big round of applause to all of you, all my fellow area members. And as Ayushi said, we are always there. Anything at any time you need, we will be there. Now I give it the baton to Toastmaster Nitin. all yours. Please close the meeting as a presiding officer and as the incoming area director. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil. He has already put me on a very high pedestal, which I don't know if I rightly deserve. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I started my leadership journey very early. I remember in school, I used to make a conscious effort to finish my notes so that at the end of the day, I'll be like, maths notes, who wants? And I'll just spread my notes around. A part of the reason was I wanted to keep my bag light because I used to travel in BMTC and a major part of that would involve me standing and going. So I wanted to have a lighter bag. But at the same time, I wanted to help people as well. I think that's where my leadership journey started. And one role after the other has gotten me to take up the next area director role position. And I have to say, it is a matter of absolute pride and honor to be a district officer, especially for an area called G4. We have had great leaders in G4 before. Some of you might not know all of them because you're relatively new, but we have people of the likes of Toastmaster Narayanan, Toastmaster Abhinav, and now Toastmaster Nikhil. And they have laid down the foundation of G4 and they've made it what it is today. So can we please have a round of applause for all of these amazing leaders for doing such a great job. With every success that I see G4 achieving, and I think 7-8 of those successes happened today itself in the last few hours, I realize how a mountain of a task I have in front of me. Now, filling these roles will certainly not be easy. Our division now has a very young team, and what we lack in age, I believe that we will compensate that with the passion, the dedication, and the hunger to learn, to help, and to grow together. And the best part of this is, without your support, we were nothing then, and we are nothing now. So while I hope that the support stays with us, I can give you the promise that as district officers, we will stand tall, we will stand strong, and we will give all that it takes to take this area to new heights. At this point, I recall this quote from this person that I heard first in 2008. Barack Obama at that time said that when we are met with cynicism and doubts, and those who tell us that we can't, we will respond with the timeless creed that sums up the spirit of the people. Yes, we can. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you the very best for the coming Toastmaster year. Jai Mata Di, let's rock. Thank you so much. On that note, this brings us to the end of the meeting. If you can turn on your videos and we'll take a good picture before we close the meeting formally. Toastmaster Muskan, you're the only one left. All righty. Big smiles, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a picture in 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much. It's done.
Thank you, Toastmaster, and all the best to you and to the entire area team.